actually has kind of been a shockingly long time since the last pin mail video I uploaded. This isn't to say that I haven't received pin mail, because of course I'm kind of always acquiring pins, but when I do a pin mail video, that kind of means that I have had like a little surge in the number of pin packages that I've received, and I've received a good number of pin packages over the last few weeks. Part of that is definitely due to a little bit of an increased time on eBay. I know you're not supposed to use like retail therapy as actual therapy, but you know, having my nice shiny metal pins to hold on to is one good thing I can still have in this world. So there were actually a number of open edition or kind of common pins on eBay I finally decided to get. I have a few other cool extra finds, and then the big box actually just contains one singular pin from Shop Disney. So I first wanted to start with this package that I received. It arrived by surprise. This came all the way from overseas, and it has some Artland pins inside. I didn't see any note included with this package, but I previously did a video showing a bunch of Artland pins. I'll link it in the cards up here. Artland pins, if you aren't familiar with, are high quality licensed Disney pins. If you are familiar with Acme pins, Artland pins now have that license. And there were 4 very pretty pins in this package. Since these are all in their cellophane wrapping, I'm gonna first take that out to be able to show them. So first up, we have this really neat Stitch logo pin. He's on his surfboard catching a big wave. The water on here is this really pretty translucent enamel. And this is also one of those super thick Artland pins. On our certificate of authenticity, it says that Stitch is an LE of 250. Next pin is this really pretty Tinkerbell pin. It looks like it's a scene when Tinkerbell is coming through the little keyhole. This is a really awesome large size. I love the glitter that it has in her wings. This one is kind of like the standard pin thickness. And then this Tink is also an LE of 250. Third is this pin featuring Cruella de Vil. This is from the same series that the Maleficent and Old Hag pins that I previously showed. And this whole villain set is like the heaviest, heftiest pins ever. This is one where it is that super thick metal. The background is all this super pretty translucent blue. And Cruella looks pretty flustered driving her car. This one is another LE 250. And this final pin is one of my favorite Artland designs to date, and it features a Steamboat Willie-esque Minnie and Mickey. The enamel on this pin is super glossy. It's almost as if it were like a mixture between a hard enamel and a soft enamel. I love the sepia tone to the background. I'm such a fan of Minnie and Mickey both together, and I love this classic design. This one is kind of like the standard pin thickness, and it has Minnie and Mickey as a little pin on pin. This one is actually an LE of only 100, and it's numbered 68 out of 100. So thank you to Artland for sending along those additional pins to look at, and I'll be sure to put a link in the description to where you can find Artland pins online. I'm gonna go through my pin mail stack in no particular order, so we'll dive into this pin, which I think this is one that actually arrived today. So this is one of the open edition pins that I decided to get, and it's the OE for Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway. Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway pretty recently opened at Walt Disney World, but unfortunately it was not able to be in operation for too long. But seeing the ride-throughs, it looks like such a fun attraction, and so I really wanted to get a pin for it. And this is just the regular open edition pin they have available. I loved the fun color and style of this, although I'm not the biggest fan of the Mickey Shorts artwork style, but I thought this would be too perfect to add to my attractions board. Okay, so next package in here is also another open edition pin, but this one was actually kind of hard to find. It really took me a while to find this and find it at like a cheap OE price, but this pin is actually going in my geology collection. It is a Fort Wilderness pin, and it says, "I'm a glamper, not a camper." So although I am a geologist, I am not the biggest fan of camping. I kind of fall more into the glamper category than a camper category, although I have spent a significant amount of time camping out in the Mexican desert. And this is like roughing it camping. There are no water, there's no facilities of any kind, it's just you and the cacti. So I'm really happy I was able to finally find this pin. And I thought it was a kind of funny personal addition to have. Okay, next package from this stack. It's kind of like a second surprise because I open these and then I stuff the pins back in there. And the reason why I do that is because when I do online purchases, you want to open it and take it out to make sure your order is correct, to make sure nothing's damaged. And then also, if things are sent well, they should be wrapped it pretty well, so I don't want to spend just like half the time opening things. So it's kind of a cheating pin mail opening. But this is another open edition pin I decided to get myself, and it is the Pixar Pier logo pin. I don't know why I hadn't already gotten this pin for myself. I guess I had just like passed it up when I was in the parks last time, or just, hadn't thought about it. But I thought it'd be nice to finally get the logo pin for Pixar Pier. It has the Luxo ball on it, which is this fully sculpted 3D element. I think Pixar Pier is definitely a big improvement over Paradise Pier. So this will be going with my DCA pins. All right, next in here, I think this is another California Adventure and Disneyland themed pin. And so I decided to get a Cars Land themed pin, which is one of the Walt Disney Travel Company pins that in the past is given out for free if you book a stay through the Walt Disney Travel Company. And so this specific pin features Lightning McQueen with a Cars Land background, and it says Disneyland Resort on it. I got this pin because I did want to add it to my geology pin collection because I love the background of this. Cars Land has such pretty fake rocks that are inspired by some really awesome real rocks. And I'm also in the early planning phases about doing a video on the really awesome fake geology of Cars Land. So this is some great inspiration for that. This was a very large mailer, but it kind of came folded up. But I have 3 pins in here that I was excited to finally find and get. And they are the Galaxy's Edge Disney Parks Play app pins. So there's the Disney Play app where you can kind of do interactive things in different Disney lands or within the queues. They've released pins for previous other attractions, and some of the most recent ones they came out with were ones themed to Galaxy's Edge. I am a very big fan of Galaxy's Edge. I don't necessarily care too much about Star Wars, but within that whole universe, I like Galaxy's Edge and I like The Mandalorian. But I really like these because these are all things themed to the parks and the attractions. This first one here is the play pin for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. So I think this is something in order to redeem, you had to be on the app and have ridden the ride and kind of get that as an accomplishment. I mean, I don't entirely love how it has the play written on there, but I really overall like the designs of all of these pins. And these pins are all technically limited release. The second pin is the play pin for the Rise of the Resistance attraction. I think this pin is really neat because it features the escape pod portion. I am absolutely dying to be able to ride Rise of the Resistance. I've seen so many ride-throughs and I really want to be able to finally experience it for myself. And then the third and final Galaxy's Edge Disney Parks playpin is kind of just for the Galaxy's Edge land in general, and it features a little BB-8 on it. I love that it has the petrified tree spires in the background because obviously, I'm crazy about geology stuff, whether it's real or fake. I also do like the fact that all of these pins came on the specialized Galaxy's Edge backer card. Then this pin here I know is another limited release pin, and this was the pin commemorating the new Magic Happens parade at Disneyland. I've obviously only seen the video recordings of the Magic Happens parade, but I think it's so fun and cute. I also love the aesthetics and kind of color scheme of this, so I decided to go ahead and get this pin. I wasn't super sure about it when it was first released, but I needed to add a little magic into my life at this time, and I love how pretty and purple it is. The Mickey there is a little pin on pin, and then the magic text is actually in the screen printing to make it look like watercolor. I've got 2 more pins left here, and they are both themed to Goofy Movie. So we're going to start off with this one first, which actually comes from a small shop. This is one of the coolest designs for a Goofy Movie pin I've ever seen, and it features Goofy and Max doing the actual perfect cast. It comes in this nice packaging, but we'll take it out of the cellophane for a close-up. So this comes from the Little Shop of Pins. And it is this pin. It's not a pin set, it's kind of just more of counting as one pin because they're interconnected, of Goofy and Max doing the actual perfect cast. These pins are made of a soft enamel, and I am not the biggest fan of soft enamel pins, but I thought this design was just the coolest overall. And so here it is off of the backer card, kind of how it's designed to be displayed, how Max actually has Goofy cast. This is going to be awesome on my Goofy Movie board. And then we're ending with our big box from Shop Disney. This is a big box, but I only ordered 1 pin. The plus side is that the pin actually did came nicely packaged in this little bubble wrap. I've seen a lot of people receive pins where they're just kind of thrown in there. Shop Disney is not known for their good or like logical or careful packaging, but this pin is special because this is a Disney Parks limited edition pin. Because all the parks are closed indefinitely, they are now releasing all of the limited edition park pins on Shop Disney. They just had the first release Thursday of last week. The main parks pin releases will be going live Thursdays at 7 a.m. Pacific time. And I was able to get the Goofy Movie 25th anniversary pin. A Goofy Movie just officially celebrated its 25th anniversary. Unfortunately, the special D23 event tour that was supposed to happen for it had to be canceled, but I'm really happy I was able to get this pin. It's kind of an interesting design because you have Goofy, Max, and Powerline. All of their arms are little pin-on pins that actually move, so you can actually kind of make them dance around. But I love that it comes on this special customized backer card. The logo at the top here is also really nice because it has this glitter and the word Goofy is like screen printed so it can be in this gradient. But it was super awesome to be able to get this on Shop Disney. It's a limited edition of 5,000 and it actually sold out pretty quickly. Shop Disney had another set of new pins released this week. I did go ahead and order 2 of those. I got the new Lamplight Lounge pin that features Boo. It's a quarterly collection and I decided to collect that series for this year. And then I also got the Coco Pixar Cameo pin. It's a Walt Disney World quarterly series. They're supposedly mini jumbos, but they seem kind of small. The retail price is kind of high, but I thought this design was so cute. I love Coco. My Coco pin collection is kind of starting to grow, and I thought this was a super unique design. So I'm super excited to be able to have access to both the Disneyland and Walt Disney World limited edition pins on Shop Disney. I am tired of the annual pass holders online who've been complaining, why are they putting them online? I don't get my AP discount. I have to pay for shipping. But it's like, what do you want the parks to do? Do you want them to not release any of these pins, some of which are like time sensitive and seasonal, and then have like 50 to 100 different LE pins released when the parks open just so you can get your AP discount? I know there's a lot of very kind and considerate annual pass holders out there, but some just kind of get to this point where like they're like so conceited about everything. Like, wouldn't you be happy that now if you're an AP for Disneyland, you can buy the pins from Walt Disney World? Somebody like me who doesn't live near the parks or go there can have access to the pins. So I'm overall very excited that Shop Disney is doing this, and I'm looking forward to see all the other pins that will be coming out. I'm definitely now going to have a lot of fun putting these pins on their new homes on my corkboard. I'm definitely probably going to go into a little hiatus of pin spending, but hopefully you vicariously enjoy this little pin mail magic for today. But thanks for watching!